Hi Crocs, you see this balloon I have here? Let's see what happens when I let the air out of the balloon. Pretty neat, huh? You've seen that before when you blow up a balloon and you let it goes zooming all over the place. Well, you know, about 400 years ago, a very, very bright scientist, one of the greatest scientists that ever lived, called Isaac Newton, was studying this and wondering, you know, what's going on there? Here's that balloon and the air is coming out in this direction, yet the balloon is traveling in that direction. So he thought about this with a lot of other things like how does gravity work? And eventually he came up with what we call Newton's 3 laws of motion. And these are really so important even to this day. Scientists use those laws and the equations that he developed with those laws to guide rockets and satellites from the Earth to all the planets in our solar system. Even to this day we use them. Okay, so we're going to use those laws to launch a rocket today. It's a bottle rocket, and we should have some fun with it, okay? So here's my launching pad here. I actually bought this. You could make it yourself, but it's just a tube, a plastic tube that looks like an L, and at the end here you can put a bicycle pump so that you can pump air through the tube and out through this tube here. And you notice it has some these black fingers. They look like fingers. And those things are going to grab onto our rocket and hold it in place while we're pumping air in there. And then this collar is going to go over those fingers and hold them in place until we're ready to launch. And then we have this string here. See how it's attached? And when we're ready, we're going to pull that string. The collar comes down. It releases the rocket, and up it goes. Okay, here's our rocket. Again, it's simply a soda bottle. I chose green, appropriate color for your school. And I bought these stabilizers here, and they actually look like a bottle with a screw top, right? And also with this came a parachute. And the parachute is attached to the bottle so that when the rocket gets up there, hopefully my nose cone is going to come off and the parachute's going to open and safely bring my bottle down. So here's how you arm it. You take your rocket and put it over this tube, and you go down over those fingers and get those fingers locked over the edge of the stabilizers there, okay? And then you bring up, oops, let me get this down a little bit more. This takes some engineering here. Okay, and you bring up this collar, okay, so that it's snug around those fingers. And now I'm going to take this and bring it down so you can see it a little better. I'm going to take the parachute and fold it up nicely, okay, on the top here. And then I have my nose cone, which is simply the top of a bottle, and I have some streamers there that make it easier for us to see it when it comes down. And I'm going to place it right on top. You see that? So that it's now, it doesn't even have to be attached, it's sitting there, and the pressure of the air on top of it is going to keep it in place. Okay, so we're ready to take this out and launch it, and let's see what happens.